Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. It's Sunday morning, and I tell you, things just don't get better. Things are just getting worse for Meghan Markle. Just the other day, Sophie Grigoire Trudeau threw some shade at Meghan in an interview with The Times. When asked about Meghan, she said, "Well, I know her, but we haven't spent much time together," really trying to distance herself from Meghan, which is, you'd say, kind of odd, because if you remember, when Meghan was doing her Archetype podcast, she featured Sophie on one episode called Good Wife, Bad Wife. And in that episode, she described Sophie as, quote, "a dear friend." And indeed, there's a ton of pictures of them together in California, in Toronto, at different events, on little holidays. So they seems to be, through the photographic evidence, that they did have a fairly close relationship. Although, you know, since we've been following Harry and Meghan, we know that photographs aren't always what they seem. But that notwithstanding, you know, now Sophie is the ex-wife of our Prime Minister here, Justin Trudeau. I mean, their story's a complete other video. But anyway, while Meghan was in Toronto filming Suits, she acted in a very strategic way to try to get herself in with the movers and shakers, the elites, the powerful people in the city. You know, she wanted to make it into those eminent circles. Now, the way she did this, first of all, was by befriending Jessica Mulroney, who later became her stylist, best friend, was her principal person at the wedding. Remember that? Bullying Charlotte and no tights with the shoes and the whole thing. Yeah, Jessica was there. Now, Jessica is married to Ben Mulroney, who was the son of a previous prime minister. Jessica's no slouch herself. She comes from a very well-heeled family in Toronto that owns shoe stores and other businesses and heads up several charities. So she's well known in the high-end social circles in Toronto as well. And Ben was working as a host and MC on television in the entertainment industry. He hosted Entertainment Tonight Canada, that TV show. He was also the guy if there was, you know, red carpet events or anything like that having to do with fashion or entertainment or music. Yeah, he was the guy. And now Jessica, she was an online influencer. She was a procurer of all things wonderful, you know, kind of Martha Stewart-esque in a very low scale kind of way, sort of. And I honestly, you know, the TIG, Meghan's gig there at the time, they were all kind of doing the same thing, but Jessica actually had some talent. She was working as a stylist as well. She was featured on TV, daytime TV shows regularly, you know, talking about fashion and this and that. So she was well known. She was a celebrity in Toronto, as was Ben. They were doing quite well. Now, Meghan, very strategically, while she was on Suits, it would have been pretty easy to get a gig on Entertainment Tonight. New season, or maybe it was the TIG. I'm not sure when her first appearance on ET was. But there you go. She gets introduced to Ben. Through Ben, she meets Jessica. Big friendship. They're best buddies. So Jessica becomes her stylist. So it is a relationship that's very beneficial to Meghan. These are the only reasons that she befriends people and brings them into her circle, is if they can do something for her. And we've seen that time and time again. And now Jessica had a friend, Sophie Grigoire Trudeau, whom also became a friend of Meghan's through association and through the circle and through the circles that Meghan would now be invited to participate in certain events and parties and dinners, and because of the association with these two women. So it kind of put her in prominent circles, even though she's never really belonged and didn't deserve to be there and wasn't contributing at all, but she was able to get in with some prominent people. And this is, you know, as we know with Meghan, it's all about money and power. How she gets there or what it looks like or what she actually does or doesn't do is immaterial. It's just the optics. And I mean, we've known that about her for a long time. Now, her and Meghan, Jessica and Meghan, were best buddies up until just a couple of years ago, when Jessica got embroiled in an online race war with another influencer who took her comments to be of a race-baiting nature. This other girl happened to be black, and it was during Black Lives Matter, and everybody was very sensitive about the whole thing, and Jessica was canceled overnight. She lost regular TV spots that she had contractually. New shows that she had in the works were canceled. She even had to step down as a member of one of her family's charities when it was discovered upon investigation that there just happened to be no black people on that board, and, you know, they were called out for it. So she, and Ben was not immune. Ben was not immune. He lost his Entertainment Tonight gig. I think there was a couple of annual events that they said that he would still be allowed to host, but everything else was pulled out from under him. I have no idea what he's doing now. I don't really watch a lot of TV or follow him, but they're both stinking rich. They'll be just fine. You know, we don't have to worry about Ben and Jessica. But when that all happened, wow, Meghan dropped her like a hot potato. Instantly markled. But now it seems that Jessica, she is divorced from Justin Trudeau. She's just written a book, memoir / sort of mental health primer. So she's on the junket doing all the interviews. She is promoting her book. She is also looking forward to rebuilding her life after being Justin Trudeau's wife. And she doesn't need baggage like Meghan Markle. Think about it. Sophie's got to rebuild her life and rebuild esteem with the Canadian public to maintain her position, kind of. And don't forget, Canada is a constitutional monarchy. The king is our head of state. And look at all the damage. Look at all the nasty things that Meghan and Harry have said and done to the royal family. just appalling. And as a former First Lady of Canada and trying to rebuild her public image after splitting up from Justin, Sophie herself is concerned about optics and does not want to associate herself with anybody that is that virulently nasty to our royal family. That's just my thought about the whole thing. I think Sophie had to make a choice, and it wasn't Meghan. Have a great day, everybody. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Love to know what you have to think about all this. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.